Imagine standing in the heart of a desert, the sun blazing down, where every direction looks the same with endless sands stretching as far as the eye can see. But instead of being lost, you observe an Apache elder, a master of intuition, as she gently lowers herself to the ground. She closes her eyes, tunes into nature's whispers, and places her hands lightly upon the sand. Then, almost miraculously, she gestures ahead, revealing water hidden beneath the parched earth. This isn't magic, it's the profound skill honed over generations, a dance of intuition and detail, an ancient art of survival. The Apache have always been nature's quiet listeners, interpreting its secret language. Their wisdom suggests that the earth is not just a place to live, but an ally to embrace. Harmony, not hardship, is the truth of their existence. These skills, deeply woven into their cultural heritage, are a testament to living symbiotically with our beautiful yet unpredictable planet.
This desert. It's not what it seems, Cody, Grandpa tells his grandson, a mischievous twinkle in his eye. To everyone else, it's just dust and cacti. But to the Apache, this is a living map, revealing secrets if you know how to listen. Listen? To what, Grandpa? The sound of sand blowing in the wind? Cody replies, raising an inquisitive eyebrow. Exactly, Grandpa chuckles, leaning in. You see, every whisper of the wind carries wisdom. You just need to be tuned into nature's frequency. The Apache could sense a hidden water source just by feeling the coolness of the air, or find food by following the tracks of animals visible only to those who truly observe. Cody's eyes widen as he imagines this hidden world. It's like they were nature's detectives, right? Yes, Grandpa nods with a smile. And their skills weren't just about survival. They reflected a life lived in harmony with the world, handed down through stories, living guides enhancing how they walked on the earth. Cody looks around, squinting at the desert landscape now shimmering with hidden possibilities. Just think, Grandpa, if we all learned to listen like the Apache, how different the world could be. Ah, you're catching on. Nature tells a story to those willing to hear it. A tale of coexistence, of respect, Grandpa says, placing a hand on Cody's shoulder. It's a lesson on seeing nature not as an enemy but a wise old friend.
Imagine this. In the vast, relentless heat of the desert, where most see only barren sand and sun, the Apache see a roadmap to survival. It's like having insider information with nature as your guide. They understood that the desert sings its own song, and only those who truly listen can hear its secrets. Watch how the elder moves through the dry brush, eyes scanning, ears attuned to whispers of the wind. It's almost like magic, except it's a finely honed intuition passed down through the ages. The Apache knew just which plant's wilting leaves pointed towards an underground water reservoir or how a certain bird's swooping dance revealed a hidden spring. How did they do it? By becoming one with the environment, absorbing every cue, every shift, and every change. Their relationship with the land was a dance of respect and reciprocity. A lesson in seeing nature as a friend rather than a foe. And maybe that's something we can all learn from.
Imagine this. You're in the middle of an arid desert, the sun beating down like an unrelenting guardian of the land. Yet, the Apache, with a nod to their ancient wisdom, seem to always know where to find that hidden spring or the well-concealed wild edible. How? Through an extraordinary tuning into nature's orchestra, listening to every note sung by the wind, watching the dance of the grasses, and following the flight paths of birds overhead. Their skills, honed over centuries, rely not on mystical powers but on an unrivaled awareness of the desert's secrets. An Apache elder once said, "Nature speaks, if only we are quiet enough to listen." By developing such acute perception, the Apache seamlessly became one with their environment, embodying the ultimate partnership with the natural world.
Imagine standing in the heart of a sun-baked desert. The heat is relentless, the land unfurling in all directions with barely a drop of water in sight. Yet, a seasoned Apache scout is unfazed, listening to whispers from the earth. A gentle breeze carries a faint hint of moisture. They pause, eyes closing as if in meditation, attuning to the land. The rustling leaves, a trickling sound beneath, the direction of a flock of birds. These are not mere happenstance but messages from nature. This knowledge, passed down through generations, unlocks secrets hidden in the landscape, revealing life in even the harshest environments. The Apache didn't just survive, they thrived, by forming alliances with the land itself, guiding others to see nature not as a barrier but as a guide, a partner, an ally.
Imagine standing in the blistering desert heat, the sun hanging like a blazing disk in the sky. Yet, hundreds of years ago, the Apache thrived here. How? With eyes like hawks and senses sharper than a coyote's. They could almost feel the water trickling beneath the earth or smell the faint scent of food carried by a gentle breeze. These were not just skills. They were lifelines, honed through centuries of surviving side by side with nature. Imagine an elder, seated on a rock, imparting secrets whispered down from one generation to the next. Listen, he would coax, the earth speaks. The flow of the air, the rustle of the leaves, they tell stories, the story of water, of food, of life itself. This was their ancient song of survival, an ode to Earth's quiet symphony, a testament to harmony with nature. We might see the desert as barren and unforgiving, but the Apache saw a familiar ally, a teacher. Their legacy teaches us to pay attention, to live symbiotically, and to explore the potentials of our own awareness. Imagine this. You're wandering under the blazing sun of the southwest, parched and searching for water in what seems like an endless dune. But to the Apaches, finding sustenance here is not just a hope, it's their reality. Ever wonder how they see what others can't? It all begins with a pause, a breath, a heartbeat sync with the earth. See how that raven circles in the sky, or feel that cool breeze coming from a shaded canyon. Those are clues, whispers from nature. To the untrained eye, these signs might be invisible, but for the Apache, they're like roadmaps in the sand. The desert. Where most see emptiness, the Apache see a world brimming with subtle signs, a living tapestry whispering secrets of survival. Picture the blazing sun overhead. Dry sands stretch to the horizon, but to the trained mind, each plant, each breeze, dances a message. Here's a secret. Every gentle curve in the land hints at hidden water beneath. An unexpected lushness. A grove of mesquite trees, perhaps? Yes, follow their roots, for they are wise guides in the desert's maze. The Apache walk silently, barefoot to sense the earth's pulse, tuned to vibrations modern technology can't catch. Their ears, attuned to nature's symphony, catch faint rustles in the air, deciphering animal tracks as effortlessly as reading an open book. And all along, this ancient wisdom is like a thread connecting each generation, each lesson etched into rhythm and rhyme. Imagine the intimacy of a world where nature is family, each interaction rooted in trust and balance. To the Apache, symbiosis is not just survival, it's a profound partnership. We can learn much from this dance with nature.
Imagine standing in a vast desert, where the sun blazes relentlessly. To others, it's an unforgiving wasteland, but to an Apache, it's a library of knowledge. In one hand, an elder holds a piece of dried yucca, and in the other, a feather, soft and unassuming. She senses the rhythm of the wind and studies how the plants bend and whisper secrets. Nature talks to us. She smiles, if only we listen. Her grandchild watches, wide-eyed, as she gestures towards the horizon. Water? It's there, beneath the hidden signs. Look at the birds, they dance their way to life. They follow the trail of swooping hawks, each movement a page in the book of survival. This is how intuition and environment blend, a choreography of coexistence. In every gesture, a story, a legacy, one that echoes with every heartbeat in tune with the desert.
Imagine setting off into the heart of a blistering desert with only your senses as a guide. This is the world of the Apache, where every whisper of the wind or the rustle of leaves holds a secret. Let's explore how they not only survived but thrived in these harsh lands. Picture an Apache elder standing still, eyes closed, face tilted slightly upwards. It's as if they converse with the land itself. They would walk the dry landscape as if it were a familiar room in their home, detecting underground water by observing shifts in the colors of the soil or the dance of the plant life. Listen closely. They might say, "The earth speaks to those who truly hear." This is more than just knowledge. It's an interwoven tapestry of respect, intuition, and nature's language, handed down from generation to generation.
Imagine waking up in the heart of the desert, the sun stingy yet offering no warmth against the chill of the morning. Before you, a vast landscape stretches, seemingly barren and daunting. Yet, to the Apache people, this land whispers secrets. They can sense water running beneath the surface and find nourishment in hidden places. It's not magic, it's a timeless intuition. By observing shadows cast by rocks or the flight of birds, they read nature like an open book. Each detail, a change in the bark of a tree or the direction of an ant trail, signals where to dig for roots or collect precious water. This is ancient art, a dance with nature taught by elders, passed down as stories. In today's world, we often rush past without seeing, hearing, or feeling. But the Apache remind us, nature is not the background, it is the stage where life plays out. In learning from them, we might just hear the whispers too. It's about respect, a delicate balance, a symphonic harmony with every element working together. Maybe the true gift of the Apache is a gentle nudge, telling us to slow down, listen, and thrive beside, not against the world around us.
So, you're telling me they could just feel where water was hidden in the desert? Sounds like something out of a superhero movie. Exactly, but for the Apache, it wasn't about superpowers, it was about super awareness. Imagine walking through the desert and learning from the way the cacti lean or how certain insects hum just a bit differently when water's nearby. Like nature's own secret language? Precisely, the Apache had an unspoken dialogue with the world around them. Over centuries, these intuitive techniques were honed, passing through generations like fables around the campfire. They not only survived but thrived, seeing the desert not as a barren enemy but as a partner in a delicate dance of life. A dance. I like that. It shows just how much our world has to offer when we stop and listen. And maybe, if we tap into this kind of environmental consciousness, we can learn to waltz with our surroundings, too. Jess. Welcome to the land of the Apache, where finding water in the desert seemed like magic to outsiders. How did they do it, you ask? Tom. It's like they had a secret map. But really, the answer was in the whispers of the wind and the soft rustle of leaves. Jess. Exactly, the Apache were masters of intuition. They could sense rain in the air hours before it arrived, and find hidden water just by observing the flight patterns of birds. Tom. Birds were like nature's signposts. And then there were the plants. They knew which ones held onto moisture, even in the hottest sun. Jess. It's about listening to the earth, tuning into its frequency. And this wisdom, it's not in books. It's sung around campfires, generation after generation. Tom. Imagine how connected you'd feel, seeing nature not as a challenge to conquer, but as a partner in life. Jess. It's a dance, really. The Apache didn't just survive. They thrived by living in harmony with the land, respecting every tree, rock, and stream. Tom. Makes you wonder what we might learn if we stopped and listened more to the world around us, huh? Imagine being in the vast, unforgiving desert. No map, no compass, just you and an endless sea of sand. Yet, the Apache people thrived here, armed with an extraordinary secret. A sixth sense for finding life-giving water and sustenance. How did they do it? Through ancient techniques, passed down like jewels of wisdom, they could read the subtle whispers of the earth. Look at that cluster of vibrant green plants in the distance. That's a sure sign that a hidden water source is nearby. Or notice the path of the ants and insects. They march like tiny heralds leading straight to life-sustaining hydration or forage for food. The Apache knew these signs by heart. They weren't just surviving. They were engaging in a timeless dance of intuition and awareness, feeling the pulse of the land itself.
Imagine walking through a desert, dry and desolate, the sun casting shadows that played tricks on your eyes. Yet, the Apache, with eyes sharper than the desert hawk's, did not just walk, they listened. To every rustle, every sway of the wind, they tuned in like the finest musicians to their instruments. But how? What secrets did they whisper to the sand? Their secrets were not supernatural, they were simply nature, observed. True, they seemed like desert magicians, picking spots for water as if the earth itself whispered its location. And perhaps it did, but only to those who knew how to listen. One story tells of a young Apache, standing still by a sagebrush, eyes closed, feeling the sun's heat on his skin, the whispers of the wind in his ears, probing the earth with his feet to sense the coolness of hidden water. This was no mere guessing game, but a deep meditation, a symbiotic dance with nature. From elders to the young, these insights were shared like cherished heirlooms, each new generation lending an ear to the earth, nurturing this profound knowledge, not as something acquired, but as something remembered. So ask yourself, if you close your eyes for a moment, can you feel it too? Can you hear what the land has to say?
Imagine walking across a vast, parched desert, where sweat is your shadow's only company. You slump, exhausted, until a gentle breeze whispers secrets to the Apache elder beside you. She stops, draws you close, and points to the horizon. Look there, she says softly, see the tall yucca? It's drinking from a hidden well. You squint and stare, puzzled, just sand, but to her, it's an interactive map. The earth speaks, she continues, our ancestors taught us to listen, to watch the dance of the plants, the flight of birds, hear the rhythm of the wind. Suddenly, you realize, the desert is alive, a living guidebook in sunburnt tones.
Imagine, if you will, standing amidst an endless sea of sand, the sun blazing above, every grain a mirror for its scorching light. For the untrained eye, it's a desert, but for the Apache, it's a treasure map teeming with concealed life. Can you hear that? Not the silence, but the whisper of the wind through the dry brush, guiding us like an old friend. The Apaches deciphered nature's melodies, every rustle, every distant chirp a note in their ancient symphony. They taught their children to trust the instincts of their ancestors, spending days absorbing desert secrets, like finding hidden water by reading the flight patterns of birds or discerning edible plants by observing the insects that thrive upon them. Supernatural, you'd think, but no, it's the art of listening. These skills, intuitive yet learned, demonstrate a harmonious dance with nature, passed down like legends of old. Lessons from the elders spoken beneath starry skies. Here lies the true magic of the Apache, an innate partnership with the land, knowing that every living thing has a story to tell if only you listen deeply enough.
Imagine standing in the middle of an unforgiving desert. The sun is unrelenting, and the biting wind tosses sand into every crevice. To you, it's a barren wasteland. But to an Apache elder, it is a library of hidden secrets. Picture this. A seasoned Apache tracker silently glides through the harsh terrain, his eyes scanning, searching. He pauses, squats, and observes the subtle tracks in the dust, the whisper of a breeze, the shadow of a cactus, the chatter of animals. Here, he says with certainty, his intuition razor sharp. Beneath this very spot lies a hidden source of water, concealed from all but those who listen deeply to the earth's stories. How did he know? It's not magic, but a profound connection honed through generations.
So, imagine walking barefoot across the scorching sands, under the blazing sun, where even the cactus seems to wither. Now, imagine doing it without GPS, bottled water, or a fancy snack bar in your backpack. Yet, for the Apache, this was an everyday stroll. How did they do it, you ask? With a sort of sixth sense for survival, part intuition, part keen observation, and a whole lot of cultural know-how. Picture this. An Apache warrior, focused, almost motionless, with eyes slightly closed, listening to the whispers of the wind, the dance of the birds, and the subtle shifts in the air. Detecting water beneath the desert's harsh exterior is all about harmonizing with nature's rhythms, an art passed down like precious whispers through generations. The Apache knew that respecting the land meant hearing its secrets. Let's delve into their ancient symbiosis, forging an alliance with nature itself, where the daring desert landscape became an old friend rather than a foe. Imagine standing in a seemingly endless desert, where the sun blisters the earth beneath your feet. Your mouth is dry, and every direction looks the same. Yet, here come the Apache guides, moving like whispers through the landscape. You ask one of them, how do you know which way to go? How do you find water here? They smile, a knowing look in their eyes. It's all in listening, they say. The land speaks, the winds whisper, and the plants reveal more than you might think. Curious, you watch as an elder kneels beside a plant, its leaves gently swaying. See this one? They continue. When the leaves turn like tiny mirrors, they point to where water runs below. Follow them. You begin to see it, the patterns, the colors, and how everything fits like a puzzle. It's like a secret language, mastered over centuries, a testament to the trust and respect between the Apache and this land.
Did you ever wonder if humans could sense water in the desert like those superhero-like Apache people? Picture this. A sun-scorched landscape, endless dunes, not a drop in sight. And yet, the Apache could find crucial water with the ease of a magician pulling a rabbit from a hat. How? It starts with keen observation. An Apache scout would notice tiny things, like small animal tracks leading to shaded spots or the vibrant green of plants against a brown backdrop. These clues whispered secrets of hidden springs and underground streams just waiting to be revealed. It's like reading nature's secret diary pages. What's even cooler is that these skills weren't just survival tricks. They were part of a respected cultural heritage, taught through generations. Imagine the lessons around a campfire, stories of nature as a friend, not foe. It's a reminder of how these techniques weren't just about getting by but living with a deep reverence for the earth. Talk about being in tune with your environment. So, next time you're out in the wild, remember, nature's speaking to us all the time. We just have to learn to listen.
Picture this. A sweltering desert with miles of nothing but scorching sands and barren horizons. But wait, imagine standing beside an Apache guide, the sun blazing, yet he walks with serene composure. His eyes are trained, scanning the landscape like a hawk. "See that cluster of mesquite over there?" he says with a knowing smile. "Hidden just beneath, water, drawn up by roots that extend far toward underground moisture." This isn't magic, though it seems like it. It's a profound intuition and a conversation with nature that most have forgotten. Every rustle of the leaves, every sway in the breeze tells a story. The Apache have learned to listen, interpreting these cues with an insight handed down like a sacred trust.
Imagine walking through the vast, sun-drenched Arizona desert. The heat shimmers on the horizon, and the ground beneath your feet feels baked into a desert tapestry. Now, picture the Apache people, who roamed these lands with an almost mystical ability to find water and food. How did they accomplish such feats where modern methods often fail? The answer lies in their unique blend of intuition and deep respect for nature, a heritage passed down through generations in stories and practices. They tuned in to the whispers of the earth. A seemingly insignificant rustle of leaves might lead to a hidden spring. The distant cry of a bird could point the way to a thriving grove. Each sign, a page from nature's handbook, beautifully crafted to be read by those attuned to its secrets. Let's ponder, for a moment, the art of living in symbiosis with the land. The Apache teach us that nature is not our adversary but our ally. Could we too, by embracing this wisdom, unlock a deeper environmental consciousness? Imagine standing on a seemingly barren stretch of land, with the harsh sun overhead. Your only guide is the whisper of a warm desert breeze. But to the Apache, this land isn't barren at all. It speaks to those who listen. They've mastered the art of weaving together clues. The trail of ants, the flight of birds, the scent of moisture in the air. It's almost as if the land itself becomes a living map. To the untrained eye, it's magic. To the Apache, it's a way of life. Their elders teach the young to pause, to respect each rustle and color change in the sand, passing down secrets that draw a roadmap to survival. Now, imagine the modern world, where reconnecting with these skills could transform how we interact with our own environments, seeing nature as our ally rather than just a backdrop.
Have you ever wondered how the Apache people could find water in the middle of the desert? It's like they had a sixth sense, but it wasn't magic, it was a deep connection with nature. Picture this. An Apache scout stands still, eyes closed, breathing deeply, tuning into the desert's whispers. To an outsider, it's as if time stops. But in those moments, the scout senses the subtle clues, a sudden chill in the air, a shift in the wind, or the unique smell of damp earth. This intuition, this dance with nature, was their guide. Passed down through generations, these skills weren't just survival tactics, they were a way of life, a celebration of living in harmony with the land. Imagine thinking of nature as a wise old friend, one who offers guidance in the form of gentle nudges and whispers. What if we, too, could learn to listen?
To explore more content like this, visit blackhawkvisions.com.